Welcome back to Cord Cutting Today, where we break down some of the biggest stories happening in the world of cord cutting, including today, T-Mobile's 5G home internet is warning customers about a data limit that if they go over, they may see their internet speed slow down. YouTube is cracking down on ad blockers, now coming after ad blockers on your phone that allow you to get around ads on videos like this one. And Disney Plus will be maybe adding some live channels soon. We'll explain what those are and what's happening here in a quick moment. If you want to learn more about any of the stories I'm about to talk about, I'll put a link to each story in the show notes down below and in the first pinned comment. You can find them there. If you're new here, do me a big favor. Hit that subscribe button. Hit that thumbs up. Let YouTube know you enjoy what we do here so YouTube recommends videos to more people, helping us grow and hopefully helping you break free from the high cost of television and still watch the shows you enjoy. Let's start off today with T-Mobile. T-Mobile, back in January, updated their terms of service that said if you go over 1.2 terabytes of data, you could be subjected to slowdowns if the network becomes congested. Currently, T-Mobile below that, even if the network's congested, allows your data to flow at its fastest possible speed. But T-Mobile is now putting policies in place to change that slightly so that if you are a customer who has high data usage, they say it's a very small fraction of their users. We'll see how that plays out. But you could see your data internet speed slow down and now resulting in you losing some speed there. Now, with this, there's a few things to remember. For one, you need to use over 1.2 terabytes of data. Most people won't, but when you're streaming video, it very well could. Two, if the network is heavily congested, then you could be subject to slowdown. And the last point here is at the end of each month, this data resets so that when you, at the start of the month, your speeds go back up, even if you were a heavy user last month. So with that, it's kind of one of those things with wireless. Now, T-Mobile says they're regularly adding capacity to their networks, making it possible for them to handle more and more traffic, reducing the need for this kind of content. But this is actually pretty standard. We actually see this in even wireless networks, like DSL has done this for a long time in other places. Actually, I don't know about DSL. Other networks have done for a long time put policies like this in place. Now, T-Mobile says this is not a data cap because they won't cut you off. They just may slow you down a little bit with it. So let me know if that changes your opinion of T-Mobile. Now, one thing, T-Mobile warned all their customers about this week. That's why we're talking about it. Just because you were warned doesn't mean you're being impacted, and you may not have necessarily gone over it. Just they're warning everybody about the new policy as they actually start to enforce it. But leave me a comment. Let me know what you think of that and if it changes your opinions on T-Mobile 5G home internet. All right, if you use apps to try to get around ads, you may find yourself cut off. YouTube has announced yesterday, or 2 days ago when you're watching this, I'm sorry, I record these at the end of the day for the next day, that they are cracking down on apps that violate their terms of service. One of them include basically not allowing you to block ads. With this, YouTube is basically saying app makers who create apps that allow you to get around ads to watch videos on YouTube without ads are going to become a thing of the past. They're going to go after these people and shut them down. It's a violation of their terms of service. Now, YouTube is facing some of the similar problems to television in a soft ad market. When I say a soft ad market, a lot of people say, well, I see ads everywhere. Obviously, it's doing well. And that's actually part of the problem. The problem here is there's so many places to put ads now that the demand for ads are a little down. The amount of revenue people make per ad is less than what it used to be. We see that right here and on our website. You know, it's not exclusive to YouTube. It's not exclusive to television. It's on websites and everywhere. If you think about it, in the last few years, Disney Plus, Netflix, all these different services have launched ad-supported streaming, which means that there's a need for ads to fill those spots, which more options to advertise. People competing for you to put your ads there drives the cost of these ads down, reducing revenue for things like cable networks, television networks, and the like. So very interesting to see YouTube's cracking down on this. It's really a big part of that. It's just ad revenues down. They need to kind of offset that. Now, they do have their own ad-free system with YouTube Premium, which allows you to do a bunch of stuff, but the primary one I think most people get it for, including myself, is ad-free in YouTube. I got the family plan so that my kids, when they watch YouTube, don't see ads because you can link a family plan to YouTube Kids, for example. I love that because it reduces questions about, hey, I saw this ad for something. Can we buy it? Parents know what I'm talking about with that. But with all this, YouTube is cracking down on it, pushing YouTube Premium. Look for that to become more and more common. I think that we're just seeing the tip of the iceberg, not just on YouTube, but on other apps out there cracking down on ad blockers because they desperately need that revenue, as most streaming services are still losing money. Speaking of streaming services, Disney Plus, in our next story, is reportedly planning to add 24/7 live channels of popular shows and programs. Much like what you see on the Roku channel, Pluto TV, Tubi, and others, where you get these custom channels that may show 24/7 Family Guy programming, for example. Disney's reportedly looking to add that to Disney Plus. Now, Disney already has some channels like this in the ABC app for about a year now. They've had a 24/7 stream of channels, both some locked behind a paywall and some free. Extreme Home Makeover for a while was one. I'm not sure if it's still there. Some of their soap operas was another one you get a 24/7 channel of. Well, now it's reportedly that Disney's looking at launching 24/7 feeds of like Star Wars and Marvel content. Meaning, if you're just in the mood to have something on, you don't want to dig around to see what you want to watch, but Star Wars sounds good, turn it on. I actually kind of love this idea. I know for Pluto TV, sometimes when I'm looking for background noise, and if you know what I mean, yeah, sometimes you're just doing paperwork and you want the TV on. Price is Right's been kind of something I've been putting on from different streaming services, including Pluto TV, the Bob Barker era. So it seems like Disney Plus is doing the same thing here, trying to make it a little more enticing to keep Disney Plus with it by offering this. Now, it seems like this is still part of the subscription. You need to be subscribed to get this 24/7 channel, but they're clearly working on growing it. So my question of the day to you, what 24/7 channel would you like of Disney? Now, my son would love a 24/7 channel of Disney Mickey Mouse Clubhouse from Disney Junior. He would be enthralled with that. It's kind of one of those things. At the end of the day, I don't know if other parents do this. We give our son some milk. He plops down on the couch, watches an episode of Mickey Mouse Clubhouse, and it just calms him down from running around. Just kind of that little like, okay, we're going to calm down a little bit before bed. We're going to drink our milk. We're going to watch one episode, and then we're going to go to bed. Anybody else? I mean, my only parent that does stuff like this. We also read stories to him. Don't worry, we do all that. But sometimes even before we get to stories, it's nice to calm him down so he sits in the lap and does it. Parenting tip 101. I don't know, do you use that? But what would you like to see? Leave me a comment, let me know. I'd love to hear from you. All right, classic movies. There's going to be a new way to buy a bunch of classic ones out there. Fandango at Home, which is the new Vudu name. So Vudu, the online store, has been rebranded to Fandango at Home. Has partnered with Turner Classic Movies from Warner Brothers Discovery to launch digital storefronts featuring iconic films. So now with this, Turner Classic Movie channels or films, not all, but some, will be available through Fandango at Home, giving you one more option to purchase them. It wasn't that long ago that many movies, classic movies, were hard to buy online. It's been a lot easier, and with this partnership, it'll become even easier. Hopefully, this content continues to come to more places, but Fandango at Home is now a new place to buy classic movies and television shows if you're looking for it there. Let's get into the question of the day. If you have a question for me, leave me a comment. Start off with something like a question for Luke. Today, Rick asks, do you think a day will come when live TV channels can be purchased a la carte, or at least in a small content-focused packages? Back in the 80s and 90s, I had a backyard dish that allowed me to access unscrambled cable channels. So, two things. Yeah, back in the 80s and 90s, many channels were open on the satellite band. So if you had those big dishes you used to see behind people's homes, especially in more rural areas, you could pick up quite a few cable channels unscrambled. Now, in the years that have come, most of those channels have become encrypted, especially the cable network ones. But do I think a la carte or small packages will come? Yes, we're already seeing this. This fall, if it's not stopped in court, Disney, Warner Bros. Discovery, and Fox will launch a sports-focused service with, I think it was 14 or 16 channels, something like that. It will allow us to watch basically nothing but sports programs and not pay for news and not pay for the Disney Channel, Freeform, or Comedy Central, and the like. A la carte, we're kind of seeing hints of that. Some RSNs have launched standalone subscriptions. Are kind of crazy expensive. We've also seen some small channels launch paid streaming. Court TV or the Crime and Law channel, one of the others, Long Crime, something like that. They've launched ones out there. I think we're going to continue to see that. Though I still think we're years away from, or a year or two away from seeing a ton of networks go direct to consumers. ESPN will reportedly sell a bundle of all their ESPN channels next year. Pricing's unknown. Now, reportedly, should say confirmed because they announced it, but exact date and details have not been confirmed yet. But getting things like CNN, Fox News, and MSNBC to go a la carte for a little while won't happen just because cable is still their '1 revenue. Until those revenue numbers drop significant enough that it becomes enticing to go direct to consumers, I don't think we're going to be seeing a la carte cable TV anytime soon. In the next 3 to 4 years, I think we're going to start seeing more and more networks do it. Probably in 10 years, everybody will be doing it. But in the next year or two, very few new ones will probably join just because cable TV is still, those retransmission fees are really profitable. I hope that answers your question. If you like these videos, do me a favor, hit that subscribe button, hit that thumbs up, let us know. If you have a question, leave me a comment. Start off with a question for Luke so I know it's something you want me to answer here. Until next time, take care, be safe. I'll be back again real soon.